Kidding. He will be right back. Oh, good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, East Hawaii. Gosh, you are magnificent. Anybody tell you that lately? Oh, yes. One more time. You are magnificent. Let me hear the I. I am magnificent. Oh, my goodness. Yes, you are. And here we are on this beautiful morning. Everybody survived the rain? Yeah. I know a lot of people had a lot of things happen with the rain. And we are grateful. We just have to be grateful. So if anybody doesn't know me, I'm Reverend Beverley Strutt. I am the spiritual director here at Center for Spiritual Living, East Hawaii, and welcome to our newcomers and those that have come 1,000 times. So happy that you're back with us here today. And, you know, normally it's very common for a speaker to bring in a joke to begin just to relax the crowd. You guys don't need any relaxing, but I did find a really good story this morning, so I got to share it. So I want you to know I don't intentionally do this. They show up in my emails. They show up on my doorstep. They show up, and this one is about celibacy. Yeah, you know, there's another one that I have about celibacy, but that's not the same one. This one is new. I thought it was kind of cute. I have to read it because it's just really, it's new. All right, so the wife says to the husband, "How would you describe me?" The husband says, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. The wife looks at him and goes, "What? Really? What does that mean?" And he goes, A, adorable. B, beautiful. C, cute. D, delightful. E, elegant. F, fashionable. G, gorgeous. And H, hot. And the wife goes, "Oh, thank you. But what about IJK?" He goes, "I'm just kidding." Oh, but I'm bummed. There started his life of celibacy. How could I resist? Really? I was going to leave that one hanging on the doorstep? I don't think so. I had to bring that one in. So we've been through this beautiful year of living out loud, and we come to this month of December to my favorite topic of all. So I am, if you think I'm excited, I really truly am, because the topic for the month of December is wholeness. Wholeness. And so what I love, wholeness is just this, it's yummy, it's warm, it feels really good. And, you know, in this weather where it's a little bit chilly, you know, we go back into our recliner with a little blanket around us, and you can kind of get that feeling of wholeness, that, I feel tired, not tired, but tight inside, but that nice tight of completeness. And you just feel that warmth, and you can feel yourself in this beautiful bubble of wholeness. And as we look through the year, we can look one more time at each and every one of the months, everything that we've addressed, be it curiosity as we did in February, or if it was authenticity or vulnerability, or what was that, the two docs, the paradox. The two docs. I could just see the picture in my mind. I couldn't bring it up. I'm like going, there's two docs there. What was the title? You know, this is how the brain works, right? So all of these different topics, all of them are bringing us, because when we bring it all together and we can incorporate it all, we can get to that feeling of wholeness. Now, there's a lot there in that whole word, that whole sentence that I said, especially the word incorporate, to bring in, to bring forward, to look at, to accept, to honor all parts of who we are. And we welcome the phone. It's God calling. So we incorporate that too. We incorporate all of these things, because this is what brings forward wholeness. And the topic for today is embracing that feeling. Embracing the feeling of wholeness. Embracing all that it represents. Every single facet of us. And this comes from Scott Aubrey. He said, "We are naturally, irresistibly drawn to wholeness. There is something within us that yearns to discover that which makes us whole, to realize the peace and joy that we inherently know as ours by divine birthright." By divine birthright. We forget that we have a birthright, and you've heard me say this before, because we breathe. Because we are here and we breathe, we are entitled to all of this goodness, this givingness of the divine. But here is the key. The key about it is yeah, we want to think we've got to go do and bring this part of us in and bring that part of us in and all those things that we didn't like about ourselves, those things that we want to forget. We want to just go and do and bring them all in and do all the work and everything. But guess what? It's already in you. It's already there. It's whole and complete within you already, just waiting for you to reveal it. So all this idea that we're scattered all over the place, the fragments, the shattering, and it's all these things around us, and it's pulling us in all these different directions. Yeah. Sure. Go look for that piece. Go dig it out and bring it forward. Go do all your forgiveness work, because it's really important. But in any of that case, it doesn't matter. You can go inward and reveal it already done. That's the way I'm going. It's much easier. It's much calmer. Because if I have to go through and look at all of those different pieces of my life that I want to analyze and judge, remember, judgment is no good, even for us. Because if we do it to ourselves, we do it to other people, right? So we don't have to do that. All we have to do is go into that place. Know that we are already whole and complete. For there is this part of us that has never been touched. No matter what you have done, and I say that, no matter what you have done, there is a part of you that has never changed, that has never been altered, that is constantly within you, and it is whole and complete, waiting for you to see it and reveal it. Now, some of us can't do it that way. I understand. So we have to get into the doing part of it. And really the big part is embracing all of the parts of us that we are. And we have a quote here from Eric Butterworth, who wrote The Creative Life. He says, "You are a perfect idea in the infinite mind. You are whole now. This wholeness is the only way that the universe knows you." So all of this other stuff that we're thinking about, all of these things we're judging ourselves on, all of the things, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have said that, I should have said this. I shouldn't have done that, I should have done this. All of these things that we're going through, doesn't matter. The universe knows that part of us that is whole. That's what the universe sees. That's what the creation sees. That's who we are. But we need to acknowledge that for it to become what the universe and the law responds to. Because the law, part of our symbol, you know, the creative symbol, the middle piece there, the law, the sand, the soil that we plant stuff into, responds to our belief system. And we don't believe that we're whole. We believe that we are all this scattered mess of everything, of all our doings and our thinkings. So we have to understand that we are whole in the idea of the universe. Dr. Holmes says, every person represents an individualization of universal wholeness already, without doing a thing. The love, peace, joy, and freedom of spirit. The power of the Spirit expresses through every atom in our being now, in this moment. In this moment. This is who we are already. We are already this. Can we do that? Can we look around us and go, because we need to take it all. We need to embrace wholeness. And embracing wholeness, we embrace all of who we are. No judgment. It's like if you're a shepherd and you have all these sheep. You know, well, that sheep ain't been so good. He's wandering right over there, so I'm not going to take him home with me tonight. I'm going to leave him out there. Oh, that one, no, that one's all fired up. Wonder what that one ate. No, oh, that one overate. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this one, these two have been badgering. They are staying out tonight. I am not taking them home to the fold. Really? Have you ever heard a shepherd say that? Will never leave any one of the sheep out. Why would you leave any part of you out? Never. Because remember, so first of all, the sheep. Let me finish the whole sheep thing. I can see it. It just happened. I'm amazed. I'm like going, where did that come from? Anybody? I'm like looking around. I like it, though. It works. So at the end of the day, the shepherd goes around and incorporates every single one of those sheep. We might look at him and go, you weren't so good today. Oh, come on in. Come on in, everybody. Come on in, all of you. Takes him home. All of them, safe and sound, into that area, that environment, that place of wholeness. Embraced them all and brought them in. So we have a lot of sheep running around inside of us, right? We have a lot of them. Yeah, I like it, yeah. But we're not bad. We're just bad, right? So here's the thing to remember, that all these different parts of us that are going on are mainly coming from our different experiences that we've had over our lives. I've always referred to it as my quilt. Every single piece of that quilt is an event, an incident, a thought, an accident, an adventure. Any piece of it is a section of my quilt. And every part of it sewn together is who I am right now. I don't judge it good, I don't judge it bad, because in judgment we leave it out. I don't want that part of me. Well, what happens to the quilt? There's a hole there now. And we're not very good with holes in our quilt, especially on a cold, rainy night. You put that quilt over, you're like, really? What the heck is going on here? Why are there all these holes? Because we have not incorporated all of who we are. Because every single one of those things that we judge is part and parcel of who we have become right now. Most of us have learned from things that we haven't liked that we've done, or haven't liked that we've said, or haven't liked what has been done to us, or anything. Even situations and people and organizations that we have judgment again, letters we've written, all these different things. It doesn't matter. These are pieces of our quilt, and we bring them all in. They're all our sheep. Bring them in. It's all part and parcel of who we are right now. And wouldn't you rather cover yourself in a nice full quilt that has no judgment? It has appreciation. Everything has appreciation in it, for it is who you are right now. And you are magnificent. You truly are. Each and every one of you is magnificent. I don't want to hear a but. If anybody says but, I'm like, anything that happens after the but is the work that we do. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Up to that point, you are magnificent. Bam! Exclamation mark. And again, and again, and again. For that's the truth of who you are. And it's in there where we can feel the truth of wholeness. No regrets, no judgments at all. And the thing about it is that the divine sees us whole. The universe sees us whole. And what we want to do is we want to bring forth more wholeness. And one of the things that the divine shares with us is the givingness of the divine. And the divine gives in abundance, but gives in ideas. Right? Think about it. When you really feel in abundance, when those ideas are just flowing and the creativity is coming and you know things are just moving right along and beautifully. But we can deep six this givingness by judging our own ideas. Do you think that an acorn is judged by an oak tree? I don't believe so. I believe that that oak tree brings forth the acorn, just like our ideas. We're bringing forth the ideas. And everything that that acorn needs to flourish is already present in it. There's nothing lacking. It's present in there. But our ideas can be lacking conviction. They can be lacking through our own doubts. So when we create that idea, as opposed to it coming forward like an acorn that is full and has everything, we have pieces. We've taken these pieces out. Oh, I'm not so sure about myself. Oh, maybe, oh, you know what? That person did it better than me. Oh, that can't go in there. So our ideas are not whole. So they don't come forward as wholeness. Because we're judging and eliminating parts of ourself. So what if that past thing wasn't a success? You don't know why. It could have been timing, it could have been this, it could have been the lesson you had to learn. It doesn't matter. We're not going to go, oh, I have this great idea, but however, there's this other person that's doing it way better. I can't possibly do it. Remember that when you do you, nobody else can do you or it in the way that you can do it. For you are an individualized expression, God having its way through you as only this specific way. Right? So no matter what that other person did, no matter how successful they were, it doesn't matter because you're not them. You're you. And God is having its way through you. And the things that get in the way of those brilliant ideas are our own judgments and not our willingness to bring wholeness to the situation. So we let go of those personal judgments. We let them be exactly what they are. They are those sheep that we're wrapping our arms around and bringing them in so that the ideas can come forward in full and full wholeness. Our sense of wholeness, I think I need my glasses. Our sense of wholeness often has to do with our expectations. Isn't that the truth? It has to do with our expectations of ourselves. We have a high expectation, but we don't give ourselves that ability to bring everything in to support it. Oh, we really do that. And a lot of our expectations are in relationship. We are in relationship with everything in our environment. Every situation, every person, every organization, we come in there and we are in relationship. And it is this that can get in our way, our expectations. Scott Aubrey says, and our expectations have to do with our desires. On the deepest level, our desires are actually our yearning to experience the qualities of God in our lives. So we have this desire to experience the qualities of joy and love, wholeness. We want to experience all these things in our lives, and we go looking for it. We look for it on the outside. We look for our wholeness and our completeness from other people, from organizations. Why aren't they doing what they should do to make me feel better? Why isn't that person saying that? Because that doesn't make me feel good. So oftentimes we're in relationship and we are disappointed and angry because the person on the other side isn't doing what we want them to do. Anybody experience that ever? No, nobody. Everybody's always in alignment. Exactly what we were. As my desire is met, so somebody's showing up to do it for me. Eh? Right? Yeah, no. Not so much. It doesn't always happen that way. Right? There are lots of times when we are very much in alignment with people and things seem to flow, and yet we can still hit those things when we are looking for our completeness from somebody else. When it's inside already. So therein lies our biggest problem, is that we have expectation for others to complete us. I'm done. That's it. No. But seriously, therein lies the biggest gap between knowing ourselves as who we are right now with all of our issues, or knowing ourselves in wholeness as being one with the divine. Because when we're constantly looking outwards, we are always going to be disappointed, because the people that we have expectation of to complete us have no idea what is needed. They have no idea. They're going along in their lives and we're going, well, why aren't you doing this? I mean, we see this so often. I mean, have you guys heard of the love languages? You know, there's all those different languages of love. So we give from our love language. We give what we would like to receive. And then in that, that's great. But then we're disappointed because we're not getting it back. We're not getting it back. Well, that person's love language isn't this. So we're thinking, oh, I'm giving all of myself, and that person must be overjoyed, and they can't have any other way. They must be excited and happy and complete and wonderful. And they're looking at you going, really? Because it's not their love language. And even though we may only name 4 of them, inside of us, we are individualized expressions of the divine, and every single one of us gets our completeness in a different way. And there's not another single person out there that can do it for you, because nobody has a clue. We don't even have a clue most of the time. So we have to go inward to find where our completeness is. And you know, most of the time, there's nothing to be done. There's just to reveal that beautiful consciousness that is already there, right? But it is some work that we can do, and Dennis brought them up in the superpowers. I loved your superpowers, by the way. They're really good. We have the superpowers of forgiveness, the superpower of gratitude. Those 2 are amazing. There's very little that you cannot set back on the straight road without those 2 superpowers. And I love forgiveness as one of my favorite ones. Of course, gratitude is easy. Gratitude is very easy. But can you be grateful for those things in your life that you don't like about? We'll get to that one. So forgiveness. So there's this little boy, he's beating himself up. He goes, I can't believe I dropped 2 pop flies. Let 3 grounders go through my legs. He goes, I just stink. And his dog says, are you kidding? You're the greatest ball player who ever lived. The little boy, to err is human, to forgive is canine. That I'm cheek. How could I let that one go? Because isn't it true? I think if we could see ourselves as our dogs see us, we would go, wow, we truly are magnificent. We really, truly are. So I leaned into this idea of forgiveness, and the Course in Miracles lesson for yesterday was just perfect. Of course, whenever you're creating something, the lovely things just fall right in your place. And it says, forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Forgiveness sweeps away distortions and opens the hidden altar to the truth. For here, and only here, is peace of mind restored. In quiet, may forgiveness wipe away my dreams of separation. There it is. Separation. All of these things that we hold around us, all of these judgments, all of these criticizing of the things around us, ourselves, all of our doubts, all of those unnamed desires and expectation are all just acts of separation. This is why we go after our sheep. We bring all our sheep in so that we're not separate from us. We can bring them in to wholeness, to oneness. And as Danica spoke so beautifully last week about that holy instant, that holy moment, and I changed the spelling to WHOL'E as holy. Holy with an H, holy with the W, it comes to the same place. It comes to that place of oneness. And if you remember Danica's story about her chicken and the anger and that sadness and distress that she felt around the incident that happened, and then her willingness days later to actually have an encounter with the person who she felt was responsible for it and was probably responsible for it, but came to the person with forgiveness, with understanding, with love, to have that holy moment, the moment with the W as well as the H, the holy instant where we bring the divine into play, but the holy moment because she was fully present with all of her sheep. She hadn't left anything out. There wasn't that resentment for the incident that had happened. It wasn't the resentment for the man that wasn't paying attention. There was no resentment towards the animal. She didn't leave any of it out. She brought it all in to that holy moment, to have that holy instant. And it is in that place where we can feel ourselves in line with the divine. It is in that place where we can feel ourselves in line with all of humanity. I thank Danica for that story. It was heartfelt. It was sad. We were all in tears. And we were all uplifted by that beautiful, beautiful story. So we don't allow for separation. Well, we can't help it, but we can bring it all in. And then we move to our other superpower of gratitude. Being grateful for all of it. Being grateful for everything. All the shitty stuff that happens along the way, all the magnificent stuff that happens, all of that stuff where you go, really? Why is that happening? I didn't bring that into my life. I don't want that. That's not part of who I am. We're grateful for all of it because it allows us to bring every single part of us in. You're being grateful for all the facets of who you are because we are created magnificently. We're created with all sides to us. And inside, that invitation to reveal the truth of who we are is present all of the time. And that is the invitation to us, is to open ourselves up so that we can be present to all of that. And why do we do this for the humanity? We do it because as we reveal the wholeness in ourselves, so the wholeness in the unity consciousness can be revealed. Because you can't have unity consciousness when not everybody is revealing wholeness, because there's too much stuff pulling, too much separation. Richard Rohr says this: whole people see and create wholeness wherever they go. We get the whole by falling down into the messy parts. Isn't that lovely? We get the whole by falling down into the messy parts. So when we can get into the messy parts and bring it all in, and we can reveal wholeness in ourselves, then we can create wholeness as we walk through life. Isn't that brilliant? It's so simple. But it does require you to be willing to bring it all in. That's the key. Wholeness requires you to embrace, to stretch your arms out as far as that furthest sheep has gotten and bring it all in, every part of you. And when you shed love on it, there's understanding and ultimately wholeness. It feels so good. It feels so good to speak about this because there is love in there. In wholeness, there is love, there is peace, there is beauty, there is power in wholeness. So this is your charge for this coming week, is to look at all those sheep out there that you've tossed aside, or actually are trying to run away from, mostly. They're looking at you going, "Oh, come on, can I come with you?" "Nope, I'm done with you. I'm never going to deal with you again. I don't like that kind of situation, so I'm never going to deal with that. I'm walking away. You know, sheep are going to follow you home, so you might as well bring it in. So your charge for this coming week is to look into those places of separation, look into those relationships that you are asking to complete you, and go, I am complete already. Embrace it all, bring it all in. Give forgiveness where forgiveness is ready, and absolutely share in the greatest gratitude for all that it is happening in your life. For gratitude is the springboard for more goodness. And gratitude is that beautiful gold glue that brings everything together and makes it whole and wonderful right in your heart. So I'm going to close today with a beautiful piece of gratitude from my favorite, Mark Nepo. He makes my days so wonderful. Each morning I wake up and read a piece of him. He goes, the goal of all experience is to remove whatever might keep us from being whole. The things we've learned through love and pain reduce our walls and bring our inner and outer life together. And all the while, the friction of being alive erodes whatever impediments remain. But the simplest and deepest way to make who we are at one with the world is through the kingship of gratitude. Nothing brings the worlds of spirit and earth together more quickly. To be grateful means giving thanks for more than just the things we want, but also for all the things that surmount our pride and stubbornness. Sometimes just giving thanks for the mystery of it all brings everything and everyone closer, the way suction pulls streams of water together. So take a chance and openly give thanks, even if you're not sure for what for, and feel the plenitude of all that is living brushed up against your heart. So we give thanks. So let's take this to prayer. So we just breathe in right here, right now. Recognizing the one power, the one source, the one universal creative mind that I call God. Knowing that that is all there is, all that is seen, all that is unseen, omnipotent, omnipresent, ever creating, ever supplying and sustaining every single expression of itself. And I know that I am one with it, and I know that we are all one with this magnificent creative intelligence. We are the expression of it in our individualized ways, in all of our goods, in all of our bads, in all of our ways. We are expressing this creation through us in only the way that we know how. And there is nobody and nothing outside of us that can bring forward the wholeness we so desire. So we allow ourselves not to shut anything out, not to separate ourselves from anything, but to incorporate it, bring it all in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it into our hearts, and know and feel that magnificent that wholeness is. So I know that this is the truth for each one of us, that it is already there, waiting to be revealed. And as we walk our path this week, there are many, many opportunities for us to recognize and see where we're drawn into separation, and recognize and see how to bring us back into the fold. For I know that this is an act of divine willingness, a willingness to know ourselves as God knows us. So I call it good. So I release this prayer knowing that it is done, knowing that Spirit has already said yes. Yes, my beloveds, yes. You've set intentions, you've expressed your desires, and they are already revealed and done magnificently. So we claim it and call it so by saying, and so it is. Thank you.